Hello and welcome to your first carrier update of the morning, brought to you by Powerfleet. I'm Mike Vincent. He's Thomas Wasson. You are not. What's going on, brother?
Got a lot to talk about today. So, four big things crossing my mind this morning. First one is seeing red, and it wasn't just me trying to find parking this morning, the spot the contract rate spread. The second thing we'll dive into in the further carrier updates is going to be outbound tender volumes. We're going back to 2020, folks. We're going back in time, and not in a good way. Third one's going to be flatbed market. There's still hope, just not as much. Keep an eye on macroeconomic trends. And finally, at the end, the piece de resistance, sir, Thomas Wasson's guide to eyeballing and quoting customer spot freight using track data. So that'll be super exciting. Wow. Yeah, it's going to be kind of like not a cooking show, but at least a freighting show where we're going to figure it out. But diving right into the first one. This is what's interesting, spot to contract spread. And so if you've noticed, we're at 95 cents. 95 cents difference between what the contracted rate is and the spot market rate is. If you're a carrier who have 90% of your mix in contract, you're thinking to myself, man, I'm not going to get yelled at in my Q2 earnings, hopefully. If you're a customer, though, if you're one of the large retailers or other distribution folks, you're going to not have a fun time because this spread means you're paying too much money. And so we're in a very interesting situation. I got a 3-year timeline here because you see that little dip right there in April? Yeah. Not only is that the middle of the pandemic, that's when a lot of layoffs were happening. We're down here, we're at 95. So that was cresting right at a little bit around approaching 80 cents. To give you an idea, we're already at 95 cents and this is almost unprecedented. So we're kind of in an awkward situation. You read some earnings, you read some analysts, they talk about how we don't really know what's happening next, so we haven't really pushed back against this number.
Yeah, exactly. It's interesting. The last time it was, well, I mean, that's right at the beginning of the pandemic there when everything went to hell. But you go back into 2019 and you can see it in the numbers, and we're there now. We're past that type of situation there where it behooves the shippers to actively fall out of their routing guides.
Completely. And what's going to happen?
Use the spot rates as a discount tool.
You know, you target your brokers first, but the one thing that we haven't seen yet is when you're a large asset carrier and you have 100 trailers at your DC, you can't just say, take backsies. Oh, we just negotiated this RFP for sky-high rates in Q1. Oh, yeah, let me just change that real quick, because all it takes is pulling out or repositioning 100 trailers. A carrier's going to remember that. So, you know, it's interesting because the larger carriers will be somewhat in a better position right now because it takes so much work. When I had to reposition trailers, it took me like a week just to move 20 of the dang things in a certain market. So the equipment so far is saving them. What remains to be seen is for how long.
Is for how long. Excellent stuff. Thank you so much. Thomas, we'll be back again to check out phase 2 of the carrier update today. Right now, I'm going to toss it over to Sydney Edwards with the headlines.